Liam finally wakes up from his sleep in the education capsule. He asks how long it's been. It's been exactly 2 years, though for him it doesn't feel that way at all, since time perception is lost while inside the capsule. His AI maid also informs him that his body was strengthened using night training mode, so he will need rehabilitation to adjust to his matured physique. Eager and excited, he says they should get straight to the rehab, but we don't see that. Instead, the scene jumps to Amagi showing him the economic status of the Banfield domain, which she managed for him during his sleep. The overall trend looks positive, it's generally improving. She's done a great job. But now it's time for an inspection. Liam is going to survey his domain. The first place he visits is the Banfield Fleet spaceport. In satellite orbit, he sees the floating dock, which services the space battleships. He also gets a look at the base for their mobile knights, real-life robots. He's shown an old model of a mobile knight. However, he is also informed that due to budget constraints, they've been unable to properly maintain them. But Liam brushes that aside for now. What he really wants is to pilot one of the mobile knights. After all, every man dreams of piloting a robot. So they make the arrangements. Operating the robots is fairly simple. The basic movements are automated. Control is done through magic. You visualize how you want it to move and it responds accordingly. He gives it a try and is absolutely thrilled. Unfortunately for him, the weapons have been disarmed. Amagi deemed them too dangerous. Disappointed, he says that in that case, he wants to try fighting in it, so they arrange that too. He's said to have a friendly bout with one of the captains. However, the captain clearly holds back and lets Liam win. Annoyed, Liam yells at him to stop putting on an act and fight him seriously. When the captain does, he completely overwhelms Liam. That's because the magic control system reflects the pilot's actual combat skill. It translates the user's imagined movements into real ones. So just being able to move the robot isn't enough. You need real fighting ability too. Liam is frustrated and demands a teacher. He wants power, he wants to get stronger, so he asks for one of the best instructors out there. In his past life, he was oppressed by those with power, but this time he's going to be the evil lord. He will be the one doing the crushing and oppressing, and to do that, he needs great power. The master chosen for him is named Yasu, a practitioner of the Way of the Flash. Liam is excited. Yasu looks like the real deal, like a master swordsman straight out of a period drama. Liam proudly tells him that he requested one of the best instructors and had him brought here. Yasu responds that while the Way of the Flash aspires to be the greatest sword school in the universe and its practitioners continually strive for perfection, the very act of seeking to be the best means you haven't yet reached that point, and those who boast about being the best usually never are. Amagi tells Liam that she finds Yasu a bit suspicious, but Liam insists that his shadiness is proof he's the real thing. It's common for true masters who have spent their lives focused only on training to become detached from the world. Those kinds of characters are always strong when they fight. Even so, Amagi suggests it would be wise to confirm his skill first, so they ask for a demonstration. Yasu agrees and says he will show them a secret art of the Way of the Flash, one of the concealed mysteries of their school. Just this once, he will make an exception. Liam must try to learn everything he can from this single display. Liam asks Amagi to record it. Then, in an instant, Yasu cuts through an arrangement of logs around him. He moves so fast that even Amagi cannot measure it on the recording. Liam is convinced. He begs Yasu to make him his disciple. Yasu humbly accepts. Of course, Yasu is a con man. That night, he returns to the site and we see the truth. It was just a trick. The logs had already been pre-cut. He never expected Liam to fall for it so completely. Now he doesn't have to worry about food for a while. He has found himself a perfect sucker. Watching it all with a satisfied smile is the god who feeds on negative emotions, the one who brought Liam to this new world. Then we get a brief change of scene. A princess named Christristiana is facing off against a group of intergalactic pirates. For the meeting, ships from the United Federation were supposed to accompany and support her. However, the pirate had bribed them all and managed to surround the princess with his own fleet. The United Federation ships even turned their cannons on her. Meanwhile, it's been 3 years since Liam began his training. Day after day, all he does is practice the basics. Yasu still won't teach him that secret technique. However, Liam has become incredibly skilled in the fundamentals of martial arts. Yasu, on the other hand, is living his best life, getting paid a lot of money to give a brat basic training. Even when Liam begs him to teach him the secret art of the Way of the Flash, Yasu just replies that if Liam is dissatisfied with his training, then he doesn't need to practice the Way of the Flash anymore. That threat is usually enough to shut down any complaints. We then cut back to Christristiana. She has been captured by the pirates, who give her a VIP seat to witness the destruction of her planet, wiping out everyone she knows and loves. Back with Liam, he's reading the latest monthly report on the economic status of his domain. He realizes the growth rate is lower than he had anticipated. Where exactly is it falling behind? Welfare work, for instance. The results this period fall far short, especially considering the budget that was allocated. So he calls for the person responsible. Liam doesn't beat around the bush. He directly asks the man what his excuse is for the embezzlement. The guy tries to deflect, pulling the "you're too young to understand" card, saying that some of these expenses are necessary. But Liam tells him he knows the truth. On top of embezzling, the man also took bribes to change vendors. He's the textbook example of a corrupt official. Liam figures maybe he should take a lesson from this guy's work. As an evil lord, he needs to start accumulating more wealth like that. There is also the fact that some embezzlement led to a scandal. The official claims it was his subordinate's doing. However, the evidence suggests that he framed his subordinate for his own crimes and then had him killed. Given Liam's history with bosses who blame their underlings, he cannot contain himself and executes the man on the spot. Furious, Liam declares that he's the only one who gets to wield authority. He's the only one allowed to oppress these people. No one is allowed to lay a hand on his citizens or his money. He's absolutely livid. He orders Amagi to launch a full investigation. Every corrupt official will be executed. He is so angry that he cannot even release his grip on his sword. Amagi has to pry his fingers off the handle. She then tells him that if he really wants to execute every corrupt official, they will need to prepare an appropriate number of dolls, at least 30. Once they have also set up an AI specialized in governance, along with the necessary extensions to the system, they will be able to proceed without issue. However, it will definitely impact his reputation. But Liam doesn't care. He trusts Amagi far more than any of those scumbags. He doesn't need anyone who would defy him.